As we round up the last couple of top 5 RPG videos to end the year, it's great to look back on what kind of year we've had. We've had some interesting number ones, ranging from a new Monster Hunter entry with Rise to a long-awaited Souls entry, Elden Ring. Last month our top spot went to Star Ocean: The Divine Force, which added a new entry to the franchise with a new party of characters to get to know. But just because 2022 is coming to an end doesn't mean we're done with RPGs. Oh yes, there are a fair few titles to watch out for, and they are right here in this list. This month we have a new dark fantasy entry ready to strike back against chaos. Then we're going back to a simpler time in a sort of whodunit, but playing as a medieval detective. There's also monster battling and more coming your way. So without further ado, let's get into the month of November. Honourable mention, Warhammer 40,000 Darktide. Taking our honourable mention this month is none other than the dark universe of Warhammer 40,000 Darktide. This title is an FPS shooter with some strong RPG elements. Set on the planet of Atoma Prime, Tertium is a place ruled by the Imperium of Man. Players will take on the role of prisoners swept up in the fight to steer away the forces of chaos, trying to push back the enemy forces and their leader Nurgle. On a mission by mission basis, they are split into assassins, raids, strike and repair. Players will have customization options such as choosing your initial sentence, which will also determine some of the cosmetics your character will adorn. Players can choose from classes Ogrins, Zealots, Psykers and Veterans. Darktide features a simple loadout consisting of a primary weapon, a secondary weapon and 3 gadgets, using a hybrid combat system which integrates both melee for hack and slash combat as well as ranged weapons, giving you a choice of how you want to slay Nurgle and their hellspawn. Enemies range from plague zombies, humans fallen prey to Nurgle's influence, to the worst of the worst, a pile of mutated flesh and tentacles, the chaos spawn of Nurgle. This will be a lot of fun fighting horrendous enemies, both using hammers, guns and more to take them down in online co-op. Warhammer 40,000 Darktide will be released on November 30th for PC. And number 5, Pentiment. The role-playing game Pentiment is a narrative-driven title following Andreas Mahler, a journeyman artist in 16th century Bavaria, who gets roped into trying to find out who is the killer of his mentor among solving other mysteries. This unique title has some pretty interesting art style inspired by manuscripts and woodcut prints. The series of murders and scandals will span over the course of 25 years, and choices made will shape Andreas' life, giving players more of a sense of agency. The script-type story lets you immerse yourself in the narrative. You can even sit down at the tavern to play a card game or two, getting more details on the potential suspects. But be warned, as every decision made will carry the weight of consequence, impacting the tightly knit Alpine community. Not just affecting the immediate members of the community, but for generations to come. Take on judge, jury and executioner in a sort of medieval detective game. Because you don't have to punish who you think is guilty, you can even choose the ones you think deserve it most. Pentiment will be released on November 15th for Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One and PC, as well as on Game Pass. At number 4, World of Warcraft Dragonflight. In this MMORPG's expansion, players will be visiting the Dragon Isles, which they will discover the ancestral lands of the dragons, guarded for many years under a shrouding system by the Titans after the Sundering, a devastating event causing the dragons to leave. But now the land has once again been awakened, it's time for the dragon aspects to return home. Here players will explore this land's locations while unlocking centuries-old mysteries. The highlights for World of Warcraft Dragonflight are not only its brand new zone to explore, but the introduction of a new class/race, Drakthir Evokers. This also unlocks dragon riding, which is unique to this class. The level cap has also been increased to 70, and the game's talent system and professions are getting a shake-up. A new mechanic coming to WoW will be the ability to ride dragons in a sort of train your own dragon feature. The ability to ride dragons adds special moves, a special skill tree, and the option to customize your drake's appearance by taking on additional challenges. Rep grind will be available to advance all reputations at the same time to gain renown. There are 4 different reputations coming with Dragon Isles, hopefully meaning a more alt-friendly system for all. The game's UI has also been given an update, and now classes are not limited by race. So if you've been wanting to make that Tauren rogue, now's your chance. This expansion should be a great starting point for newer players and a refreshed experience for veterans. World of Warcraft Dragonflight will be released on November 28th for PC. At number 3, Tactics Ogre Reborn. Tactics Ogre Reborn is based on the 2010 release game, but this time it will include improved graphics and sound. Not only will there be updated graphics, but also an updated game design, bringing the classic tactical role-playing game to life. The game features choices that will affect your gameplay and how the narrative unfolds, with multiple endings to discover. Follow Dinam as he makes decisions that will affect the fate of those around him, as well as the outcome of Valeria's history. Taking place during a civil war, the death of the king and the lack of a successor has 3 factions vying to take the throne. Dinam will be joined by a cast of characters as they dive into the rebellion to free the oppressed people of Warcraft. Battles are in tactical format that takes place on a 3-dimensional field. The game will have a completely revamped AI system that enables enemies to even change their tactics depending on the situation, making for a much more challenging experience than the original and keeping players on their toes. Further changes have been made to the level of management from the original game, now using a unit by unit level system instead of the class-wide one. This provides options for endless theory crafting for classes, equipment, skills, and magic. You can also enjoy full voice acting in both English and Japanese, as well as re-recorded music with live performances. Tactics Ogre Reborn releases on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Switch and PC on November 11th. At number 2, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet take a different route this time, as players won't start out like a traditional Pokemon game where they leave home to start their own adventure. This time they will enroll in Paldea's prestigious academy. They will be tasked with a grand treasure hunt that will be completed over 3 major story arcs. Gyms will be returning but can be challenged in the order trainers see fit. There will no longer be a linear path to follow. In the first open world game in the franchise, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet will be sending trainers to Paldea. Trainers will be able to explore this wild and new area teeming with secrets and things to find. This time around, players will be able to take part in 4-player co-op options in trading, battling, and exploring. Paldea has something odd going on in its lands though, called the terrestrial phenomenon. This has been happening, causing Pokemon to shine bright like a diamond, their bodies taking on a jeweled form, and they're definitely more magical in appearance. All Pokemon in Paldea can terrestrialize and take on this shiny new form. Pokemon with the rare Terra types exist in the wilds and are quite capable of holding their own against single trainers. To take down and capture these powerful monsters, players will need to join up and create raid groups. Of course, no new Pokemon game would be complete without the introduction of some new Pokemon. Meet the likes of Chunky Pig type creature called Lechonk, as well as new legendaries, Corridon representing Scarlet and Miraidon representing Violet. Trainers can even ride these legendary Pokemon as mounts, similar to what happened in Pokemon Arceus Legends. They can run through fields, soar in the sky, swim in the sea, and even climb up mountains vertically. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet release exclusively on Nintendo Switch on November 18th. At number 1, Harvestella. From the first look, Harvestella might look like your normal farming sim, but it has a very unique twist: its seasons as well as combat. All the 4 usual temperaments, spring, summer, fall and winter, are all regulated by what's called the sea lights. These gargantuan monoliths are responsible for ensuring the seasons correctly flow from one to the next. However, this natural cycle is being disrupted by something called the quietus. This heralds horrific dust storms among other perils. Here in Harvestella, players will get to grow their own crops, including fruits and vegetables. You can sell them or use the materials to craft. This includes making your own items that help your HP recovery or give you a temporary stat boost. You can even have pets help you out in your travels and livestock to raise. It would all sound like the idyllic life to have if it wasn't for the quietus with its life-threatening impact. But this title isn't just about farming. Each job class in Harvestella will have a unique skill board that will contain both active and passive abilities. There will be various ways to unlock each class, and they will have different types of requirements. Some basic classes include Fighter, Mage and Shadow Walker. Shadow Walker is an interesting one as it uses twin blades to slice and dice, while mages use their magical attacks to inflict their foes. Target an enemy's weak point to gain the upper hand with the double break state system. The entire skill board looks to have 12 job specific boards, meaning quite the choice. You can even switch between jobs with ease during battles, making for some flexible combat. There seems to be something for everyone in this unique slice of life title that is a tad more perilous than inheriting your grandpa's farm. Harvestella will be cropping up on November 4th for PC and Switch. That's a wrap for the top RPGs of November. Did I miss your favourite November release? What games are you most looking forward towards the end of the year? Please let us know in the comments below.